All right, this week's tour stop takes us to TPC Sawgrass for the Players Championship, and that's where Maverick McNealy joins us from Ponte Vedra Beach. And Maverick, you're getting ready to play in your first Players Championship. Being a player's rookie, what do you think of the golf course? You've seen it a few times now with your practice rounds, I'm sure. What do you think? It looks like it's in pure condition right now.
There's not a blade of grass out of place, and the golf course is playing perfect right now. It's nice and firm, and with the weather we're gonna get, it'll be perfectly firm in the fairways. The greens are not soft, and from what I've watched on TV, there's a lot more slope, and those spots around the greens are a lot more treacherous than you even think. But I'm excited to play. It's a challenge on every shot.
Yeah, I mean, you're obviously a young player on tour going through a lot of firsts each and every year. First Players Championship. Nervous, excited? How do you describe the feelings going into the week?
I'm really excited. I don't really know what to expect. I'm really excited tomorrow to tee it up and just have one golf ball to worry about, because I tell you, trying to figure out every shot and every scenario and learn this golf course in 2 days is making my head spin. So I'm excited to have one golf ball in front of me and just focus on that. And I'm excited to play in front of these fans and see what we can do. It's the Players Championship, best field out here, and there's a lot to play for.
Obviously, those fans will be gathering around the 17th hole, the Island Green. Tell us about 17. 140 yards or so, give or take a few, Maverick. Should be a simple shot, right?
Depends on that wind. Yesterday we had into off the right, and not many guys were hitting the green. It's tough, but 26 yards deep, I'm going to be aiming 13 yards on every day, and maybe shade 1 or 2 towards the pins if I'm feeling lucky. But 4 balls dry there is a good thing.
Yeah, 4 balls on week. I mean, you hit that shot on the range, Maverick. That distance with the amount of room you have to place it, no big deal. When you step to that tee, when you step to it in the practice round, is there a vibe? Is there an aura that you feel stepping to that tee box?
I think it's no surprise that you can see the 17th green from 200 yards out on the 16th hole. So it's in your mind well before you even get there, and the walk around the 16th green behind, you don't walk straight to the 17th tee. You have to walk around for another 30-45 seconds before you actually get there. It's one of the cooler shots in golf, something that's been replicated all over the world in different scenarios, but there's really nothing like it.
Pete Dye says he likes to make you guys think, and he gets you thinking about 17, like you said, while you're playing 16. Obviously, the pressure is going to be amplified during the tournament on 17. There's going to be fans there, as we said. What do you do to calm your nerves over a shot like that with so much daunting water surrounding your target?
You just have to fill your head with the right things. And for me, I fill my head with either really, really strong target focus. I focus so hard on where I'm trying to hit it that everything else is blocked out, and or I just focus really hard on what a perfect shot feels like. I'm lucky to be a poor multitasker, so if I focus hard enough on what I want to be doing, there's not much room for anything else. So I'll be thinking exactly what it feels like to hit a shot in the middle of that green.
Maverick, you recently had your best finish on tour. Runner-up finish at Pebble Beach, the final round 66 on Sunday in the AT&T. Can you describe what that feeling was like for you contending on Sunday in a PGA Tour event?
That was the back nine on Sunday that you always think about and dream about, giving yourself a chance, and it was really fun to execute. Like I said, I filled my head with making a really committed, aggressive swing to the shot and the target that I picked, and it was fun. I got to hit some shots that I wouldn't be able to under normal circumstances. You get the adrenaline flowing, and you can swing a little harder, and seeing that ball come off with a little bit more speed is a lot of fun.
I know you mentioned playing hockey. You talked to Jay Monahan about hockey, playing in the juniors. So you were a multi-sport athlete, and I want to ask you about that. Playing hockey and playing golf, what would you say to parents and kids who are looking to specialize only in golf at a young age? Someone like you, who you multitask, you play different sports, what would be your advice for those who say, my son's going to only play golf and that's it, or whatever sport it is, just one?
Yeah, I think my advice has changed even from a couple years ago to now. But a couple years ago, I would have said, don't specialize early. Junior golf doesn't matter that much for amateur golf, which doesn't matter that much in college golf. It really matters how you play when you tee it up for Q school. And even then, I mean, most players don't make it on their first try. So you have to spend a lot of time in the game practicing and working at it to get good. And if you were going to spend a lot of time, you might as well love it and enjoy it and love the process and find a way to make it fun. And if you're burned out early, it's going to be hard for you to do that. But even then, we've seen the game changing over the last couple years, and players are getting more athletic. And I think in the next 15, 20 years, we're going to start seeing golf really as an athletic sport. I don't think all of our best athletes are going to be going into football and basketball and hockey and baseball and all these other sports. I think guys are going to see opportunities, guys and girls are going to see opportunities to play and use their athletic talents to succeed in golf, and I think other sports are a great way to cultivate those things. Baseball players rip it, hockey players rip it, football players and basketball players are great overall athletes, and that's a huge advantage in the game, especially nowadays.
Yeah, twofold on that. Physically, what were the benefits in your golf game by playing hockey? But also mentally and emotionally, Maverick, being a part of a team sport and then going and really specializing and prioritizing an individual sport. Were there benefits for both physically and mentally for you?
There are huge benefits. Physically, I'm lucky to have not had back problems because hockey makes your hips and legs strong and mobile in all directions, and lots of core strength, rotational strength, forearm strength, all things that are really important for hitting the golf ball hard. Every year after hockey season, I'd hit it 10, 15 yards further. Wouldn't be sure where it's going, but I'd eventually figure that out. And then, but mentally, I love that hockey gives you an opportunity to push yourself physically. And I think having the discipline to push yourself physically is a great mental asset and is something that helps you push through when things are challenging in golf. And I love playing team sports. I really miss that, and that's one of the reasons I'm so set on making a President's Cup or a Ryder Cup team someday. Is I love playing on a team. I can't wait for the Zurich Classic with my roommate and another Stanford guy, Joseph Bramlett, and I thrive on that stuff. But the experience I've had with my hockey teams and winning games, losing games together is something I'll never forget.
You mentioned your roommate, played at Stanford, majored in management science and engineering. Obviously, you've talked about thinking your way through the golf course, getting yourself in the right mental mindset for certain shots. How have you been able to apply what you learned in school to thinking your way around the course?
I'll be honest, I'm not really directly applying that much from my major, but what I did learn from MS&E is it's kind of a multidisciplinary approach to making decisions. How do you take a lot of information and weed out what is important? And that is very important in golf. There's so much information available to you. There's so many people with input and so many people doing different things. You really have to sift through the important bits and figure out what's actionable and what's not. And whether it's diving into golf statistics or course strategy or equipment or whatever it might be, there's a lot of things that there's way too much information, enough to make your head spin, and you got to be able to focus down and figure out what's actually important.
Are you a big data guy when looking at stats and some of the information you talked about when analyzing your game afterwards, or do you rely on others to kind of supply you with some of that?
Yeah, stats guide's a huge bit of what I do. I work with a guy named Hunter Stewart. He was a Walker Cup teammate of mine, played at Vanderbilt and played professionally for a little bit, and now he's big into the data of golf, and the shot link data is so much information, and he does exactly that for me. He sifts through and finds 1, 2, or 3 bullet points for me, which is all I need to do. He'll tell me you're not good from 100 to 150 yards, so I'll go out there and I'll do some wedge combines and I'll be better the next week, and things like that. Little things like my right rough tendency was 2 to 3 times more than my left rough tendency, so should we look at some equipment, or whether it's the way I'm swinging driver or lines that I see so that I don't miss it in the right rough as much, and kind of give myself the best chance to hit the fairway. So little things like that, where if I'm picking up half a shot every tournament, that's going to pay off huge at the end of the year.
Last couple questions. Obviously well known that your girlfriend is PGA star Danielle Kang. Curious, what was the conversation like after Pebble? I know you told us you help each other along the way. You guys, obviously, there's a lot of long distance talking going on when you're at tournaments, but being in contention, Great finish, coming up just short of winning. How did she help you afterwards, and what was that conversation like?
It was a lot more of "I told you so." Like, I told you you're good enough. I told you you've got what it takes, and she was just really happy. It's we love watching each other play great, and she plays great a lot, so I get to enjoy that. But yeah, she's always been trying to tell me that I'm better than I think I am, and to believe in myself and trust my game. And I think on Sunday at Pebble, I finally did trust my game, and it worked out great.
Does she play that big role with you in confidence boost, even though you're obviously a tour player who's establishing himself? But does she play that role to just give you that extra bounce in your step going into the next tournament?
Yeah, for sure. When a top 5 player in the world tells you that your putting's really, really good, and one of her, she even says sometimes she thinks about the way I putt when she's trying to putt. Like, that's pretty cool. And if I can pick up little bits and pieces of the way she's probably one of the most dynamic iron players I've ever seen, one of the best drivers of the ball, and has incredible control of her golf ball into the greens. And if I can just do a fraction of that, that's going to help me leaps and bounds for sure.
Last thing's an advice question. We know you mark your ball rather uniquely. What's the best tip you can give a recreational golfer when it comes to lining up their ball on a putt? Is it a line? Is it the dot? What advice do you have for them?
So I have a line on my ball and a dot, and I do kind of the opposite of what most people do. I use the line off the tee to make sure my eye line is correct and I'm setting up square, partly because a lot of tee boxes aren't always aimed straight. Some of them are aimed left, some of them are aimed right, and if your body alignment's off on a tee shot, that's a big miss. And then I let myself feel the line on a putt, so I stare at a dot, and I've been doing that since high school. And for me, it's kind of a fuzzy focus now. I don't stare at it, but the ball doesn't look quite right if it's not there. And it just helps me hit the center of the putter face. And I line up with feel. I think standing over a putt, I've hit so many putts in my life that I know where to aim, that I don't need to rely on my fingers and aiming it correctly to tell myself where to aim it.
Very interesting, lining the ball off the tee. I can imagine that a lot of average recreational golfers don't even think about it. They put that ball on the tee.
Yeah.
Their Titleist or whatever, Callaway is going to face all different directions.
Yeah.
You're saying you use the line, and you're pointing that where, at your target line off the tee?
I usually set the line up just split in the fairway, and I know if I'm going to play a cut or a draw that I use that as a reference point, but that's mostly because, like I said, there's more things that can aim you incorrectly on a tee box. The tee markers aren't perfectly straight, if the edge of the tee isn't cut right, if there's a weird hole that the tee is right and the fairway cuts left, you never really know. And for me, it's just a baseline to get my club face square, get my body line square, and go from there.
All right, all great advice from Maverick McNealy, getting ready for his first Players Championship this week at TPC Sawgrass. Thanks, Maverick, and good luck this week.
You got it. Thank you.